the screen. Got the city lights low. Sean B bringing truth to the stories below. From New York with grace and a mind so wise. She can see through the dark. She can read through the lines. Every clue, every name, every twist, every turn. She be digging down deep till the realness burns. For the ones left behind, for the pain unseen. She be lifting those voices in between the scenes. So like, share, subscribe, let the real ones roll. Sean B on the case, going straight for the soul. On YouTube she shines, bringing truth to the few. When the world stays quiet, she comes breaking through. Like, share, subscribe, let the story breathe. Sean B got the light that the people need. Ooh, Sean B, true crime, baby. Tune in and watch the truth speak. Yeah.
Hey y'all, hi my babies, how y'all doing? I am here this evening to talk about some stuff that I saw earlier when I was actually, trying to pull some pictures. There they are. Okay. So I've got a few different stories we're going to talk about today. With this live, I should say. And it's probably, if I know y'all like I think I do, it's going to piss y'all off. And that's okay. We'll deal with it together. Because I know it pissed me the hell off. It sure did. Right? And so, hold on, I'm just getting these pictures. Y'all, 6 o'clock crept up on my ass real fast. Okay. It did. It did. I was sitting there going through YouTube trying to figure out how to stop my phone from spying on me because they say our phones is spying on us. And I got so sucked into that next thing I know, it went from 4:30 to 5:45 real quick. So I just like jumped up and came to the computer. This first story that I am coming through is about a mother who unalived her son because there was an issue with your file. Try again. Okay. This mother right here. Can y'all hear me now? Could be going out to come back in. Can y'all hear me now? I just been talking. Nobody heard anything? You can hear now. T, did you hear me speaking to everybody else? Wow. Okay. All right. So I started out saying that I saw, let me go back up here. I saw Summer Mommy, and I saw Tay, and I saw Special K out last night in these YouTube streets. I was just sitting back on the couch. Yeah, I was just sitting back on the couch, just listening. I mean, just watching y'all, But y'all can hear me now, right? Everybody can hear me? Everybody can hear me. Say something. Okay. So yeah, I saw a few of the queens outside last night, just being fast out late last night. I did. I just ain't say nothing. I was just letting y'all be a little grown. I'm like, look at my babies out here pulling an all-nighter. Had I known y'all were going to stay up that late, hell, I could have stayed live, because I didn't go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are well within your right to say, no, Sean B, we not sleepy. Unless you sleepy, can we just, you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. I understand. Spread that love, baby. Spread that love. I ain't about to repeat all y'all name all over again, because I didn't say, hey, queen, everybody, one by one. So what I'm going to say instead is, hello, all my queens. I love you all, and I thank you all for being here. T already said that they're having a wonderful evening, and she wished us a wonderful evening and a blessed weekend. And even though y'all couldn't hear me, I told her back at you, and thank you. So, like I said, this story right here that I am about to tell you guys about is about a woman named LaQuanda Williams. She's 44 years old. Well, she was when this happened, right? She was 44 years old. And unfortunately, this mother right here apparently suffers from some kind of mental episodes. I don't know if they are selective or if she has, some kind of medical routine or, that she should be following that helps her to maintain some kind of control over a medical or a mental diagnosis. But her daughters, Janisha and Kamaya, definitely are under the impression that their mom is crazy. Okay. And they said that she's always trying to fight everybody. She puts her hands on everybody, and they're just tired of it. And Janisha, the one on the right is Janisha. No, the one on the left is Janisha. She's 18. And the one on the right is Kamaya. She's 20. And they are quite tired of their mother putting their hands on everybody. Like every time she get a little tooty about something, they said she totally blows it all out of proportion. And this particular day, she got off early and she goes home. And to her surprise, I'm assuming that her son wasn't supposed to be driving her car. I paused there, y'all, because I'm wondering why the police officer was turning the corner like that. But I have a police officer that lives down the street, so maybe he got to pee real bad. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just being silly, y'all. Let me get serious. So apparently when the mother came home early that day. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Queen. Thank you for joining us. So, like I keep saying, and I keep getting distracted. Apparently, when the mother, who says that she owns her own business, came home early that day, she surprised everyone. But when she did, she must have been driving a second vehicle or her boyfriend's vehicle, because she was asking her son, "Where's my car?" Right? And the sisters, both sisters, were saying, her daughters, that he was just, he didn't say nothing to her. He didn't, because the police was saying, "Well, did your brother say anything to provoke your mom, to piss your mom off, to start the fight? Was he disrespectful in any way?" And they both said no. Because we know how our mom is. He just was like, "Mom, you tripping." And I didn't quite understand that, because that sounds like some shit is missing out of that story. Right? Like that sounds like, they're not telling everything. So, but the police let him go with that. So the son apparently is not arguing with the mother. He's not going back and forth with the mother. And so she chose, with this pan, to throw some hot grease on him. Okay. Now, if y'all look around on the countertop around the edge of the pan, y'all can see where grease has leaked onto the countertop. That started the whole incident, right? And when she did that, he grabbed a hold of her with the grease drooling down his arm and all of that, hot grease at that. Mind over matter, fight over flight. He takes hold of his mama's arms and sort of like body slams her on the floor. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like that's really enough. You throwing hot grease and shit, right? And so when she threw the hot grease, the girls went and hid in their respective bedrooms. Nice apartment, really nice townhouse. But they went and hid in there, and they're at the doors, and they're yelling, telling their mom to stop, telling their brother to let her up, just stop it, both of y'all. And when he let her up, the mom goes, oh, I forgot a picture. Hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second. There it is. The mom goes and gets this, right? She goes and gets that, and she tries to come at him with it. And yeah, he's like, "Yeah, now you tripping for real." Right? You know what I'm saying? Like you doing way too much. And so he starts basically just antagonizing her by laughing and giggling, because he's really not trying to pay her any attention. And so he basically walks outside. He's getting all his stuff and he's leaving. And the girls are like, "Just leave. Just leave. Please. Just leave." And his name is Jihad. So Janisha and Kamaya are telling Jihad, who is 21, "Brother, just leave. Mommy be tripping. Give her car keys. Tell her where you left the car. Because let's get back to that, right? This fight has ensued, but let the mama tell it. Ain't nobody discussing where the hell the car is at." Because now she's focusing on this level of disrespect and disregard that she's feeling from her son. And so he just walked out. He walked out. He went to carrying his stuff to his car or somewhere. He went outside. Like he was just walking outside. Where he was going, they did not talk about. And that was one of the questions that I had. He went outside, but where was he going? Right? Why are you asking where your car is at? And where was he going that you did this to him? Okay? Y'all see that? You did that to your son because he was ignoring you. That's what you did. Well, y'all, by the time the police gets there, right? By the time the police gets there, one of the daughters and the mother is hovering over him, trying to apply pressure to the wound that is in his back. Okay, and so the police pull up. They tell her, the mother, to move away from the son. They tell the daughter to move away, but they wouldn't let her go back upstairs because the other daughter is upstairs on the balcony and she's screaming, you know, is he gone? Is he gone? But she using, you know, the D word. And she's saying, is he gone? Is he gone? And the other sister is saying, yeah. And it's the older sister that's upstairs on the balcony that's really tripping. Like she is really emotional. She's screaming, she hollering. And the 18-year-old is standing on the ground in the snow in sweats and a t-shirt, basically like, you know, like she can't believe it. Here she is in the gray t-shirt here. And she really can't believe what she's saying. And I think maybe she was probably in shock. I think she was probably in shock. And she's looking up at the sister and she is like, yes, he's gone. It's nothing that, you know, we could do. And Kamaya, the 20-year-old, she starts tripping. So the police, they ask for backup and all that kind of stuff. And the mother tells the police, you know, I pew-pewed him. But she used the S word. I pew-pewed him. And he says, well, where is the weapon? And she says, it's in the car. He says, which one? She said, the red one. And so the other police get there. And this is where the story starts to get confusing. Because if the car is there, why are you asking, where's your car? And I say that because at first I was like, well, maybe she just put it in the car that she pulled up in. That's not what the sisters were saying. Unless she had two cars, right? And so she pulled up in car number 2 and she was asking about car number 1. Something is going on, y'all. This is another police car coming down my street. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I need to see what's going on outside. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I need to see what's going on. Oh, well, I can't see. They're around that curve. I don't want to turn on my scanner. I don't feel like it. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. I just, I tell y'all not to mind y'all business. And so I've got all these police officers turning down my street. And I thought it was the one that lives down the street. But I've never seen this many police officers on my street going down there before. So anyway, like I was saying, it could be one or two situations. Either the car was out there the whole damn time and the mother just overlooked it and went in the house tripping, and that's probably why the son was ignoring her. Like, you just come in here tripping. You know doggone well you saw that car out there, mom. You know what I'm saying? Or she pulled up in her car number 2, and her other car number 1 is still unaccounted for, and car number 2 is where we see this on the floor inside of the red automobile. Because when the police pulled up and separated everyone and got them to get their hands off of the son, he asked her where was the weapon, and she said, in my car. He said, where? She said, that red one right there. Okay, fine. So then they go on to to arrest her and all that kind of stuff. They put her in the wagon finally comes and they put her in there, and she gets to clowning. Oh man, she gets to screaming and hollering and, oh my God, where's my baby? Is my baby okay? Is my baby okay? And all that kind of stuff. But that was as long as the police officers were standing there. What she didn't realize was there were cameras inside of the paddy wagon. Yeah. There were cameras inside. See right here, she's inside of the wagon. And there are cameras inside the wagon. And so right here along this strip, this doorway right here next to her face is because the door was still open because they're standing there talking to her. And she's asking them, is my son okay? My God, is my son okay? I don't want nothing to happen to him. I didn't mean for none of this to happen. And her face is all contorted. It's all kind of crap going on. And but no tears coming down her face. None. And that is what the police officers talked about amongst themselves. You know what I mean? When the captain showed up and he went to describing what was going on, he's telling the captain, well, this happened, that happened, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he's like, but Captain, there are no tears. Like, she did all that. He said, well, we're going to figure all that out once we look at the cameras on the inside. And he said, oh, yeah, I forgot about those. He said, yeah, most people don't know about them. There are cameras inside of the paddy wagon. So when they close the door, her whole face, boop, changes. Her whole face just expressionless. It's nothing. She just started looking straight forward. So then they cut from inside the paddy wagon to inside of interrogation. And, she tried to put a little sugar, a little spice on what happened. And, I didn't know what he was going to do. And that's why I grabbed, the weapon. And that's why I was asking y'all to loosen the cuffs, because he threw me he slammed me on the floor and my shoulder hurts. Well, which shoulder? This one. Well, earlier we had you on camera saying it was that one. She said, well, they both hurt because she said, well, they both hurt because he slammed me on the floor. You know what I mean? So they're just letting her talk. And so after she had been talking and sitting there for like 3-4 hours, the woman came in there and she said, okay, tell me again why he slammed you on the floor. What the world? Exactly, lady. And so she goes back into, he said he was going to unalive me and my boyfriend. And I don't know why he don't like my boyfriend. My boyfriend ain't never did nothing to him, but he not really my boyfriend. He just a boy who come over. A boy? Okay. Anyway, I think she was so busy lying that she just didn't hear the ridiculousness that was coming out of her mouth. And so at this point, she sat there for another hour and a half, where the detective finally says to her, "When are you going to ask me how your son is doing?" "I've been asking," and her whole face just whoop contorts. Now it's all toe up. She's going into this dry ass, ugly cry and all that shit. And she's like, "I've been asking them all day. Ask them, ask them. I've been asking them all day." And she said, "Well, I can't ask them because their shift is over. Okay. And you've been here since their shift was over. And you haven't asked us one time." Well, um, I, uh, well, I, that's what she started doing. She couldn't get a word out. Well, I, I don't. Okay. And she finally says, "How is he?" And one thing that I find with a lot of suspects, especially the guilty ones, is that they can never say the name of the victim. She kept saying, "My son." She would never say Jihad. It's like the devil in them just won't let them say their name. And she said, "My son, how is my son?" She said, "Oh, he didn't make it. But I think you know that by now." Oh Lord, she went to, "Oh my God, save me. Oh my God. Oh my God, please help me. God, I need you. God, I need you." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And so she was formally indicted February 29th of 24. And she didn't go to trial. She took a plea and she received life, but she gets to go up for parole after 18 years. Yeah. So she'll be 62 when she can go up for parole. Yep. So that's that one. And that's what I mean when I say, when you can't trust your mother, who can you trust? And is it a medical issue or is it an excuse? Right? Because that brings me to these two motherfuckers. Yeah, this is where it gets serious, and this is where it gets deep. This is where it gets disgusting. And yeah. hmm And I am deliberately taking my time because I need to breathe. And I need y'all to let me breathe for a second. Some people are truly evil. Some people are truly evil. Y'all see these two motherfuckers right here? Huh? Okay. This one, his name is Jeremy Williams. He is from Alabama. hmm hmm Yeah. These two motherfuckers, they knew each other. And I'm going to read it the way the story came to me. Jeremy Williams of Alabama accepted Kamari Holland in place. It wasn't even in place. He paid for. Damn, Sean, get it together. He paid $2,500 for this 5-year-old little girl. He paid the mama $2,500 for oral. Y'all hear me? From a 5-year-old. Kamari Holland of Columbus, Georgia. This bitch name is Christy Sipple. Kamari's father's name is Corey Holland. And her father, Corey, had custody of this beloved child, Kamari. He had custody. But seeing as though it was around Christmas time, the mother, this bitch, had asked for a few hours. Just a few hours to visit with Kamari. And against the court orders, the father allowed Kamari to spend the night with her mother. At that point, Williams paid $2,500 for Kamari to perform oral. He also forced Kamari to smoke meth. He then proceeded to grape and atomize her and put a rope around her neck. Y'all got to remember, this is YouTube, so I have to say certain things, certain ways. And he held it there for 15 minutes. And because he got kind of tired, he kind of paused and then resumed to doing that, right? And see, at that point, he had dropped his phone. Because see, y'all, he was recording all of this. But at that point, before he dropped the phone, all you could see was what was happening to beloved Kamari. But once he dropped it and picked it up and flipped it, it caught his face. But see, that didn't matter though. That didn't matter because then he went on to violate her corpse. Actually. Yeah. That's what he did. And so, and y'all, you know, the mother had lost custody due to her addiction. That's how the father, Corey, ended up with her, with his daughter. And so what actually happened was the mother, this chick, she reported her baby missing. Are we still here? Nobody has said a word in the chat for 10 whole minutes. Is everybody okay? Are y'all all right? Y'all still with me? Hello? Okay. So because he was when no, not because he was. When the mother reported her missing, it was announced on the news. And because of the area that the mother said the guy lived, I mean, where the girl, at first she tried to say that Kamari, 5 years old, just walked out. She tried to say that when she woke up at 3 in the morning, the door was open and Kamari was gone. I'm so tired of that tired ass excuse. Like, seriously. Seriously. It's like all these assholes are saying the same thing. You know what I mean? Just 1 second, guys. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. My husband and Doobie just walked in, so they just went and did some shopping. So like I said, the mother reported Kamari missing. It went out over the news. Another teenage victim of his heard about what happened. And she hadn't previously said anything. Oh, excuse me. She hadn't previously said anything because he had threatened to do something to her. He had threatened to come back and get her and hurt her again. So she didn't say anything. But when this happened, she said, oh, no. I'm calling the police. Hold on 1 second. Here come my husband. Okay, guys, I apologize. I'm back. So, take that off. All right. Okay, so the teenager called the police and reported what happened to her. With that being said, they now had a name. They now had at least a person of interest to, to set their sights on, because before that they didn't, right? And so they went, hold on guys. Just had to wait till it got quiet, guys. My bad. I truly apologize. So, like I said, they now have a name. They go to his address. With what the teenager said and with their suspicions, the wife provided another address. And she provided an address that sent them to 15th Avenue, a house on 15th Avenue. And when they got there, they found Kamari in the back of the house, in the corner, covered in insulation and a tarp. Later on that evening, they got his phone number from his wife, and they were able to get a subpoena and ping his phone. See, a lot of people think that they have to have the physical phone in order to ping your phone. They do not. All they need is the phone number. That's it. With the phone number, they pinged it and they found him located at a motel called the Bamboo Motel on Opelika Road in Phoenix City. Phoenix City, which is about a half an hour from Columbus. I used to live down there. I didn't live in Phoenix, but I lived down there. So I'm very familiar with the geographical distance between where I lived, another city in Phoenix and Columbus and Atlanta, Macon, all of that. I'm very, very familiar with those, right? They found him, and come to find out, he had arrived there and checked in 30 minutes before the police got there. So they were suspecting that he was somewhere watching them, looking for him. And his uncle was there, but his uncle was never charged with anything. They didn't believe that his uncle had any involvement in anything besides getting him out of Dodge. You know what I'm saying? And so at that point is when they retrieved his cell phone. And that's where they started to gather all the evidence that they needed to gain a conviction. And from that cell phone, the data showed him arriving at Bowman Street, then traveling to his home on Dozer Street. So Bowman is where the mother lived. Then he traveled to Dozer and then on to this vacant house on 15th Avenue. And that vacant house is a house he used to live in. The wife knew all about it. And that's why she sent them there. She told him, well, if he'll be anywhere, he'll be there. That never made much sense to me. But unfortunately, there was a gag order put on the case, and so nobody could talk about it. However, as they're looking at this footage that he is recording, the nasty motherfucker is recording himself. He is forcing a 5-year-old to smoke this meth. He then raped and itemized her from the back, not oral. And then with the rope, and then he held it there, like I said previously, for 15 minutes. And all of this, they're getting to see it in real time. And some of the police officers grew ill when they saw that she was no longer alive, yet he is still handling this baby as if she was. He's literally raping her corpse. And so, again, officers grew ill. They said, and I mean seasoned officers, where they've been called to many a scenes of mutilation and all kind of stuff. But watching this happen in real time, oh man, they couldn't take it. They could not take it. And so on December 28th of 21, the mother was charged. She was originally charged with red rum during kidnapping, red rum during rape, red rum during sodomy, and human trafficking. Those were all four of the charges that she was originally charged with. But she accepted a plea deal. Y'all see the difference in her face? See her here? Hey, Tay. Hey, Queen. Y'all see the difference in her face here? And then here she is here. She filled out everything that the meth took away. She filled it right on out, didn't she? But because she accepted that plea deal and to agree to testify against him, she was found guilty of the human trafficking, and she received 20 years for that. She received 20 years. Now, February of 22, when she was being indicted, he was too. And he initially pled not guilty due to mental disease or defect. However, after two psychologists evaluated his sick ass, they found him competent to stand trial. Yes, they did. They said, you can get the entire fuck out of here. Your nasty black ass is going to court. Okay? You did it. You facing it, you sick bitch. Right? 5-year-old. You nasty. Listen. So once he found that out, I'm sure his public pretenders told him, listen, dude, don't even do that to yourself. Okay? Because no matter what, they're going for the DP on that ass. They're going for the DP. It's a wrap. And he said, well, so he agreed to the DP. To the plea. He pled guilty. And the plea that he agreed to, girl, Tina, come on now. You know I'm going to cuss straight out loud. I don't care. The plea that he agreed to, however, was something I had never heard of, but I learned today. It's called a cold, like COLD, or blind plea. That means, one, You don't want a jury or a judge trial, a jury or a bench trial. You don't want either one. They will not allow you to take a Alford plea where you say that you understand that they have evidence that could potentially find you guilty or not guilty. But because you don't want to go through it, you're just going to accept this Alford plea. Nope, they weren't offering that because they had the evidence. But he didn't know if, he just didn't want to go through trial. So he accepted the plea, but without any promises. There were no agreements. And so the judge accepted it. However, in Alabama, because the prosecutor was, this was disposed of in 2024. But because it's Alabama and because the prosecutors were seeking the DP, that has to be agreed upon from a jury. So a jury was seated. They were presented with all the evidence. And in April 8th of 2024, jury having heard all the evidence and his plea, they found him guilty. And they were able to hear the testimony from the medical examiner that described, they listened to the audio. Only the judge could see the video. They listened to the audio because remember, he's already pled guilty, but they just needed enough so that they could make a decision. So they listened to the audio and they heard the medical examiner explain in detail the trauma to her rectum and her vagina. And the ligature marks around her neck and the level of meth found in her 5-year-old body from the cell phone. And they listened to, like his phone would cut off and he would cut it back on. It would cut off and he would cut it back on. There were 6 videos, 6 of him recording himself doing this, to the point where some of the jurors started to cry. They did. They started to cry. But they agreed with that DP. They agreed with it, and he had the audacity to request that they expedite the proceedings. Expedite the process, he says, and that's a quote. And the judge told him, no. That's not how it goes. There's a process and there are procedures. Okay? There's a process and there are procedures. And while, our city thanks you for not taking us through all of this. Tay, this happened between Alabama and Georgia, from Phoenix City to Columbus. His name, I guess you want to look it up. His name is Jeremy Williams, and he's of Alabama. And the mother, Kamari Holland, is the baby. She's 5 years old. And the mother's name is Christy Sipple, S-I-P-L-E. Kamari Holland, and her father's name is Corey Holland. Okay? And like I said, it went between Alabama and Columbus, Georgia. Okay? Because they're very short distances because they're right there on the border. Like you literally could walk across the street, you know what I'm saying? And be from Phoenix to be from Alabama to Georgia. That's just how small those little towns are. So anyway, the judge told him, yeah, no, there's an order of operation that has to happen. There's a process. There are procedures. And even though you have accepted this blind plea and I am not held by any boundaries and anything, no promises, no nothing, I still have to follow the chain, right? And so he sits on D-Row in Alabama. And the case has now gone to the Alabama Supreme Court to issue a writ of execution so that the date for execution can be set. And what happens after they do that? He moves to the front of the line, even in front of those that have been waiting for decades. He moves to the front of the line. Why? Because he has he's waived all of his appeals, all of that. He's waived everything. And they still make you sit and wait because a person can say, well, I didn't know that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? So they make you waive it a few different times. And so he has done that. And now that he has exhausted all of the waiving that he could, it's gone up to the Supreme Court. They will give it the writ that it needs for the execution, and then the date will be set. And then we'll know. Because she sold her baby to this nasty monster for $2,500, her 5-year-old baby, for $2,500 for her baby to perform oral on him. Yes, Tay, the Supreme Court, them the top dogs. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what she did. That is what she did. $2,500 to, hey, Tracy. Hey, Queen. She said, hey, Miss Sean B in chat. I'm going to watch later when I can focus. Have a good evening. You too, love. Tay said, that's where I'm at. That's why I try not to say too much. I know that's right, boo. I know that's right. So, this 5-year-old was sold for $2,500. I dare say that is so much of an insult. That is so much of an insult. That's evil. It really is. That's evil. All these things could think about were their own guilty pleasures. It's all they could think about. She wanted to get high, and he did too, along with getting his fetishes satisfied. Truly disgusting. And I can't wait for them to put him down like a dog. A mangy rabbit dog. One that is so infected, there is no help. There's nothing that anyone could do for him, for that dog. I can't wait. I wish they would bring back that zipping chair and, that firing range. I really do. They used to have that in Texas and Florida and Georgia. They used to have them chairs. They used to have that range. They really, I wish they'd bring it back. I really, really do. These people deserve it. God forgive me. I believe in an eye for an eye. I do. And I think the mother should not have been given a chance to take a plea. Be it not for her, right? Be it not for the mother, Kamari would still be here. I believe she should be taken somewhere and given all the damn rugs that they can. Just all of it. Just all of it. Till she explodes. That's what I think they should do. You want to get high? You're going to get so high that you're going to explode. That's what I think they should do to her. Him? Oh, you like playing with stuff like that? Well, I think they should do the same thing to him. As a kite. For real. I think they should do the same thing to him. Wrap something around his neck and have fun from the front to the back. That's what they should do. Only he don't get any meth. He don't get to escape. He don't get to. I think they should do that. And then stop. And then reposition like he was doing on those 6 different videos. And do it all over again. And then they should let him heal for 2-3 days and then do it all over again. Rip it back open. Yes, that's what I think they should do to him. Absolutely. I believe in an eye for an eye. Completely. Yes, I do. Especially where children are concerned. Especially. That was no accident. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing else to believe. This is a 5-year-old. You gave money for a 5-year-old. There's no ambiguity here. There's no, well, what about? There's not any, well, maybe. No, there's not. There's not anything. Besides, he asked for what he asked for. She named her price. And there it was. And I don't know if it was paid in money. It didn't say, it just said $2,500. It could have been $2,500 worth of meth. I don't know. But in any case, that should be done to him until he don't know whether or not he's shitting or pissing. Dead ass. Dead ass. Let it heal, rip it right back open again. Yep. All the while, keeping it tight around his neck. Just when he about to pass out, let it go. Smack him. Bring him back. Absolutely. And on that number 6 time, I don't care if it take them 2 weeks to do it, but on that 6th time, let that be the hoorah. Let that be the one that just wide open. Just that's how I feel. how I feel. I have zero apologies except for God if he is unpleased with what I'm saying. But God knows my heart. He knows my heart. And this in the Old Testament, eye for an eye. Yes, it is. So sorry. So sorry. So sorry. But I'm not sorry. So that's why my question is it an illness or is it an excuse? Y'all talk to me. These babies have the wrong parents. Absolutely. That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. The lady said, ain't no fucking illness. I know that's right. It's not. It's a sickness. That's for sure. You got to be one sick motherfucker to be a grown ass man and desire this from a child. You're nasty. When I say sick, I don't mean mental. I mean disgusting. Yes. A whole buzzard. Absolutely. I think, isn't it an excuse for the mineral hospital so they can have freedom, a little bit of leeway? What, Tina? I don't understand that. I think isn't an excuse for the, mental. Okay. You think it isn't an excuse for the mental hospital so they can have freedom, a little bit of leeway? I don't understand, boo. Tay said, I feel it's no illness, but in a sense, it gotta be something mentally wrong with you. I know that's right, Tay. She said, I haven't heard buzzard in years. Yes, Kimberly, a case of nastiness. Yes. Yet another one, right? Oh yeah, because they quick to say they mental, right? Absolutely. They're quick to say they're mental. Really, really quick. But see, what a lot of people don't understand is you can go to the mental hospital and be there for the rest of your life. Okay? You could be there for the rest of your life. That dumbass who shot Ronald Reagan, his ass came up for parole a few years ago. They denied his ass, and he been in there since I was in junior high. He been locked up since I was in junior high school. My daughter is 35. You know what I'm saying? So, the mental hospital ain't always cracked up the way people think they are. But then this is that brain that they're working with, right? When they're doing their nasty X, like the first story, I believe that she wanted to go to the mental hospital because the mental hospital do give them leeway to be out of jail. On certain circumstances, yes. I'm sure she would rather serve her. Well, I don't know. Because I have heard some crazy stories about those mental hospitals, the stuff that they do to you and the way they want to keep you rugged up. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people think that you could just walk up in the hospital, be taken out of handcuffs, and because you don't cause a problem no problems will come to you. And that's just not so. I've heard of people getting attacked in mental hospitals. I've heard of people being injected constantly as a regimen while they exhibited no reason for it. But you said you crazy? We gonna make sure you are. Tay said for sure, Sean B. Yeah, them doctors be like, yeah, I've been waiting to use this medicine right here. I made sure you came here. You're gonna be my guinea pig. Oh yeah. I ain't mad at them. I'm just saying. A lot of people got the mental hospital screwed up. A lot of people. Mm-hmm. I wonder where your sidekick Special K at, Tay. She got you out here in these YouTube streets by yourself right now, huh? She gonna pull up on you later. Summer mommy disappeared. What happened? Unless she just sitting back. Maybe she just sitting back. She said, Tay said, a lot of people think that mental hospitals is okay. You get actually assaulted in there too. Absolutely. Absolutely. You definitely do. You definitely do. Some come out of there, if at all, they come out of there worse than when they went in. And they wind up having to turn around and go right back in there. Olivia Kells, come out and play with us. Yeah, it's a few of us that's missing right now. Yeah. What do you mean, Tina? You said, what does a child? What do you mean? Tay said it's early. The way y'all was stomping through them streets last night, I'd have to agree with you. I just sat there and just read y'all's comments. I said, look at these two, these three. Sometimes the medicine makes them worse. Absolutely, lady. Absolutely. Tina says this baby did not have no reason to go visit, spend the night. This baby was innocent. Yes, he is. He's a nasty dog. Yes, he is. He is. He's the worst kind of dog. Tay laughing at me. I was sitting back on the couch, just watching y'all. I said, look at him. And was this the first baby? Huh, man? That's a good damn question, isn't it, lady? But it wasn't. Remember, there was a teenage victim who gave a statement on what happened to her. So, you know, and he admitted to it. So there's no telling. Like those other ones said, that was just the first time I got caught. There were many more before that. So there's no telling. You know, I was looking and I'm and not every person want to come forward. They want to try to forget it. Absolutely. They don't want to relive it. They don't want the embarrassment. They just don't want it. Absolutely. They don't want to take their loved ones through it. You know, they mama, they daddy. You know what I'm saying? Because the father can't get to them. You know, that father just want 2 minutes with him. Just 2 minutes. I've heard fathers during court trial proceedings say, Your Honor, please just give me 5 minutes in a room with him alone. Just 5 minutes. And whatever y'all want to do with him after that, I'll be good with. I've heard them say that. You know? And then they go on to finish with their impact statement. And later on, the judge will address them. The judge will say, Mr. So-and-so, you know, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I understand. And what happened to your baby was unimaginable. But unfortunately, my hands are tied and we have to live by the laws of the land. And I know all along the judge wanted to say, but if I know this prison where he going, like I think I know this prison, he won't get exactly what you want to give him. I know the judges be honest with that. But of course they can't. They have to keep it as objective as they possibly can. They don't want things coming back on appeal, talking about, you know, emotional connections and it was biased due to, you know, emotions and stuff like that. So these type, you have to go back to his teen years. Like he did something where the parents knew they needed to take him for help. Why the behavior is ongoing. Yes. They said just like the Naziah Harris case. Yes. Many cases like this. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's tight. Ain't started as adults. Absolutely not. Hello, Wanda. Hello, Queen. How are you? Tay said, Lady, for real, some people who try to sweep it under the rug think it was innocent. You know, or they sweep it under the rug and they disown them at the same time, which means what? They've sent this beast out into our society. And now he is living amongst the homeless and he's just terrorizing from one neighborhood to the next to the next. I truly believe it's the reason why some of us go missing and are never found, never heard from again. Or even if, you know, something is found, but it's so decomposed that nothing can be done. It's found in an area that's far away from a family that's looking for a loved one, so they don't even suspect that that's their loved one. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Sean B., I don't know if you have Instagram, but is this one guy that always speak about the missing people and the stories that the news are not covering? Well, if you find those, baby, just let me know. But I do not have an Instagram. I had one, and that was years ago, and I let it go. All I was finding was a bunch of mess, and I really wasn't on it that often anyway. And in fact, I only downloaded it from the stuff that I wanted to see from Facebook. But you had to have Instagram in order to open up, you know, in order to open up the video. So, but yeah, I let it go. Okay. I'll surely look into it. Absolutely. But yeah, you know, man, y'all, these stories, man, listen. Like the one that what was his name? Like Ariana DeFries, the one I just did the other day. Like Ariana DeFries, when she didn't make it to school that day. Remember? And they found her. Wait, I don't know if you know. It was a story with Roxanne Shante. She's from my old neighborhood. Her niece was missing and her sister. The father was coming out and along with her. I honestly want to know what happened with that story if the sister just disappeared, not wanting to be around the father. Okay, Roxanne Shante. I remember that name. I remember that rap. Yes, yes, yes. Um, but like I was saying about Aliana DeFries, this fucker had done time for what? Not Aliana, Ariana. Had done time for his fetishes. The first time he was given probation because the actual assaults were dismissed. They wanted him to do time for the robberies, not for how he put his hands on a woman. Not, you know what I'm saying? That's what they wanted. They put him on probation for the robberies. They dismissed what he did physically to someone. And then he only did 4 years for what he did to the woman with the scissors. They're allowing these monsters back out here into society, and they only want to put them to the DP after they've done something so heinous that we have to suffer. I was going to do a story on the unbelievable actions, behaviors, and activities inside of these prisons, but I don't want to. I don't want to. These people go to prison. Some of these people go to prison and they truly become animals. They really do. They don't just go to prison and, just mind their business and do their time. You know what I'm saying? Do a little politicking and some gambling like they would out here on the streets. They go to prison and become animals. They really, really do. It's disgusting. The shit that they doing to the other men in these prisons. They putting their hands on people. They punking off the people that just don't want no problems. I just got a little 2-3 year bid here. I just want to come here, do my time. I ain't hurt nobody. I was just a thief, or I was selling some rugs. You know what I'm saying? Stole a car. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't put my hands on nobody. I just want to do my time and go home. But no, by the time those type of people get ready to walk out of prison, they done been beat on, dog walked, just treated horribly. And if they weren't racist when they walked in there, they are when they walk out because of the way that these animalistic people treat each other. It's disgusting. It really is. They find pleasure and entertainment in what they force people to do while they watch and record. It's disgusting. These guards are getting paid to do nothing because the inmates run the prisons. That's a fact. That's a fact. It's really, really unfortunate. It's disgusting. It really is. And I got so mad. I got so mad watching it. I said, I don't want to do this story. I don't want to do this. So I did it. Absolutely, Tina. The judges use the DP when that's what the governor and the DA and the judge collectively agree upon. It very, I mean, like it's got to be something really egregious. And then I wish all the states would bring it back. I really do. I wish they would bring back the DP. They said they just got to make a paycheck. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. It makes me so mad. It really does. The monsters. I believe that, you know, you do the crime, you do the time. But I do not believe that first time people going to prison should be housed with lifers that don't have nothing to lose. Depending on your charge, of course. I don't want somebody's son who got caught stealing a car, and maybe he got probation the first time and then they reinstated the probation a second time. So the third time, now the judge throwing the book at him. I get that. I get it. He need to learn his lesson, let him go sit down somewhere. Why should he be in general population with a monster that has nothing to lose and ain't going nowhere ever, and now has developed a fetish for fresh meat? That is unfathomable, and it's unfair. Have y'all never heard of somebody that said, man, when I walked out of there, I kissed that ground and I vowed never to go back? There are people like that all the time. Do they deserve to be violated the way that they are? And I don't only mean sexually, I mean physically, emotionally, mentally. They're feeding those people food with poison in it, with pests, insects and shit in it, with mold in their food. Like what? And then the first thing they want to do is they want to come up, hey Pam, hey Queen, how you doing, boo? The first thing they want to come up and with all this word salad, talking about they're going to do something about the inhumane conditions of our prisons. We want you to know that your loved ones, they matter too. Kiss my ass. You a damn lie. When every time it rain, you know what I'm saying? My loved one is in a cell with 6 others, and it's raining in their cell too. The water don't work. They can't flush the toilet. People in there getting sick. Monsters like the ones we cover tonight deserve to be in those kinds of prisons. Figure it the fuck out. You did that to a 5-year-old. I seen a video on YouTube with the cook saying that Rikers Island changed the way they do certain foods and things like that. They try to give them more healthier meals because of the mayor. Rikers Island is supposed to be getting shut the fuck down, and I don't see it happening. I know that they closed a few buildings, but see, that's that fluff I'm talking about, y'all. Long as don't nobody say nothing, shh, be quiet. Don't know, ain't nobody saying nothing about these other 5 buildings that's still open. Don't say nothing. Y'all don't scream, they won't holler. And it's wrong as hell. A few prisons in New York have closed, but not Rikers. And Mayor DiBiagio got up there talking all that bullshit. I call him bullshit DiBiagio. I think I seen something about them opening up a new building in the city. Oh my God. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It's so unfortunate. But I think that these kinds of monsters, there should be a special prison just for them. Just for them. The lifers should be in even if it's on the same grounds, right? But I think a certain building should be with these kind of monsters, and a certain building should be with the lifers. It should be, you know what I'm saying, separated like that. Somebody who doing 25 or like 35 to 60 like Jarvis Butts ass, there should be a building for that, a unit for that. Somebody doing 10 to 15, somebody doing 3 to 5. But you got somebody doing 3 years in GP with somebody that's doing life? No, that's not cool. That's not cool. That's just not cool. That's not cool at all. Mm-mm. I don't agree with it at all. And I never will. Do you believe he offed himself? You talking about JB? No, I don't. Nope, I do not. There is a video floating around TikTok that is supposed to be of him getting attacked. I don't know if it's real. I think it's real. I just don't know if it's him, because you can't tell, because there's there's a light right there that is, obscuring a clear vision. But no, I don't think he did it himself. You see the video with the sister interview? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And no matter what happened, because I don't know if I believe that she didn't know his record, right? I don't know if I believe that, but the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter where Naziah is concerned, right? I believe that she did the right thing because she didn't have to say anything at all. She didn't. She did not have to say anything at all, and no one would have been the wiser. It is because she called that detective and helped that detective put Naziah at that auto shop. She didn't have to do that, because them two motherfuckers certainly was never going to say anything at all. Shannon, funky ass, she's not ever going to say anything. Tay said you could tell that hurt her feelings as well, because that's her own family, but she knew right was right, wrong was wrong. Yes. Man, listen. Tweedledee and Tweedledum and Tweedledummer can go straight to hell. You hear me, lady? They can go straight to hell. And rot like dead fish for all I care. Absolutely. Because they know and have known what happened to that baby, in my opinion, all this time. And they will never say anything. I do too, Tay. I believe their statements ate him up. I do. Yes, they should be locked up. They should be locked up. It's really simple. If for no other reason, for the lies that they told sitting up on that stand. It's called perjury. Why they were never charged is beyond me. And the judge who gave an interview as well said the same damn thing. She said, I don't understand why they were not charged. Hello, Queen West. How are you? Thank you for joining us. She did. She point blank, the judge said it. I don't know why they were never charged. Now, of course, she had to speak, she had to be eloquent about it. But y'all know one thing that she revealed? She now works in the unit in the courts that make the determination whether or not children go back to their families. And that gave me a certain security that neither one of them beluga whale looking hoes will get their babies back. Okay? So, I'm good. I'm good. But y'all listen, my husband is home and he is watching his sports and it's about to get loud. And he's been at work all day and he's been shopping with Doobie. So I'm not going to try to stifle him. I will, however, I'll be in the bushes watching y'all, Tay. And you tell Special K when you see her, you make sure you tell her that Sean B said hi. And I missed her today. But I'll be looking out for y'all. Lady, I caught your post today. I love it, babe. Thank you all for being here. Tay said, but that's why, even though the system is so screwed up, I feel like more of us that get involved with them, we can make a change somehow, like how she's doing it. Some people get corrupt with the job, but if you stay pure, like how she is, and other judges and things like that, we could all make a difference. That's a fact. That's a fact. I like that. I need to get in these streets with y'all. Lady, they be all over. They do. They be in the streets. Absolutely. I was watching. I was. But I am about to go take me a shower and find me a spot on the couch and find me something on Netflix to get into till a little later when I think that the streets is about to get a little busy and come and find my girls. So y'all know I appreciate y'all utterly. I absolutely. Lady said, take me, Tay. Tay said, I'll be in the streets. But it do get to be too much. It does. It does. Nothing is as it seems, Tay. Let me just tell you that. Okay? Nothing is as it seems in those messy homes. None of them. None of them are on the level. It's all about clicks, views, and a YouTube paycheck. That's a fact. I just want you to keep that in mind. And as long as you see it as entertainment, you won't be disappointed. So, with that being said, my babies, I want y'all to know that I appreciate y'all so much. I do. And I love y'all after that.
Late night glow on the YouTube screen. Sean B steps in where the cuts run deep. From a New York state of mind she was born to see. What gets lost in the dark, what they don't want to speak. Silk in her voice, but the questions hit hard. Pulling back the curtain, laying truth on the yard. Every hush-hush story, every shadow clue. She's piecing up the pain till the whole thing comes through. She don't chase noise, she follows the trail. When the headlines miss, she will still For the tears unseen and the cries turn low, she be lifting up the weight that the world let go. Every fact she finds got a purpose and pulse. Every case she touches makes the silence convulse. No cheap thrills, just grace and fire. Taking buried details higher and higher, where the whispers get drowned and the weak get missed. She's a soulful reminder they still exist. She can feel when the story ain't sitting right, so she walks through the dark just to bring back light. With that grown woman glow and pimping a flare, she's reaching for the truth, 'cause it's waiting there. On YouTube, tune in, let the realness rise. Like, share, subscribe, keep the truth alive. Sean B on the scene, bringing dark today, giving lost names rhythm, giving silence a say. Like, share, subscribe, let the people come through. When Sean B talks truth, baby, everybody knew. She got that city soul, that uptown grace, and a mind that can read what time can't erase. So gather round close, let the story unfold. Some truths need a voice, some hearts need a hold, and she won't let the quiet just fade away. She's turning low whispers into words that stay. On YouTube, tune in, let the realness rise. Let the realness rise. Like, share, subscribe, keep the truth alive. Sean B on the scene, bringing dark today, bringing dark today. Giving lost names rhythm, giving silence to say. Like, share, subscribe, let the people come through. Sean B keeps it real, and she's speaking it true. Sean B, true crime, where the hidden gets revealed, and every story matters.